3, 2, 1. Go. 3, 2, 1.
Intro and host.
All right, this is M0V.log. Today we are reviewing Guardians of the Galaxy. The optimal angle for the mic. Yes, I understand.
Oh, perfect.
That's Chris out here always breaking barriers. Today we're reviewing Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
I was about to say Volume 3 actually. Volume 2, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Are they making a 3?
Yeah, of course.
Too much money.
2 days before the film came out.
But Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, written and directed again by James Gunn.
Yes.
The director of the first film and Super for if you're nasty.
And the writer of Scooby-Doo and Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed.
Of course, can't forget his origins.
Amazing work.
I love those movies actually.
Yeah, those movies are funny, honestly.
All right. Initial thoughts.
I think we're all gonna be on the same page, but this movie's like amazing.
Well, because honestly, I talked to him before we saw the film, and I was like beforehand, and I was like, I'm excited for it, but like, I feel like honestly, it was honestly bad for how successful the first one was, because I was like, all right, well, I'm sure it's gonna be good, but it can't be better than the first one.
Yeah,
especially since everyone's saying it's not better than the first one.
Yeah,
which I have to say,
I disagree.
I
have
to
say I disagree.
No, I prefer this one.
Oh, okay, I thought you guys. What about you?
I think that this one is better than the first one.
Yeah, I would say I prefer this one. I mean, I kind of always do this because I get a little too excited after I see the movie initially.
I've seen it twice, and I think what this one
I've seen it twice as well.
I think what this one does really well.
I actually wanted to see it one more time before we did the review.
I noticed a lot of little things.
I think
not a lot, but
what this does really well is it doesn't try with most sequels. There's 4 different patterns it goes through. One is it's bad, it's just a bad movie, and not as good as the first one.
2, it retreads the first.
2, it retreads the first. 3 is it just goes, let's go bigger and better. I'd like to say Avengers 2 is in that category where it's let's just pump it up.
Yeah, it's instead of attacking New York, let's lift up a whole fucking city.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Too much. And then there's one that just kind of builds on the original and is a better sequel.
Yeah.
Empire does that. This actually, I said to Chris, I'm this is probably the closest a film has gotten to replicating Empire. Because it's heroes are split up, bigger stakes, there's evil dad gets mad.
And
Mad Dad. People actually, there's actual consequences and stakes, and it's a real, it's a real film. And the other thing, too, is with the first one, I feel this one wouldn't be good without the first one. It can't stand on its own. But
I would say it can stand on its own.
I haven't
seen the first.
No, I don't agree with that.
No, I don't.
Because I feel
and the main reason is because they build up so much on the cast in the first one.
Yeah, the whole
the whole character.
Actually, yeah, that's kind of true. Because it was funny because
the first one introduces it and gets us all to like these characters. And this one
and the second one you're banking on the fact that
builds on the characters that we didn't get to spend time with, like Rocket, Yondu, and Nebula, and then still introducing
new characters,
as well as building on Star-Lord, who we already knew a lot about, and only builds some more. Okay, I think we got over our first impressions.
I think one thing that was really good, and I don't remember if I asked you this or not, but we all went into this movie for the most part not really expecting much.
I also hadn't.
No, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I was so excited.
Okay. No, I was excited, but I wasn't
Yeah, I remember talking to Chris about it. I was like, so are you super pumped? And he's like, honestly, not really. I'm excited to see this movie, but we all set ourselves at a baseline meh.
I noticed if I do that, the movies turn out better. So if anything, I should just not expect anything ever again.
Just don't have high expectations for movies, I guess, and then you won't be disappointed.
Hopefully, if Spider-Man isn't garbage, I have the lowest of expectations for that film, sadly. So if it's not bad, then I'll probably like it a lot.
Let's try and keep it that way.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll be in a movie together eventually.
If anything,
next year.
Yeah, next year. Infinity War.
From now.
Yeah. But speaking of Infinity War, let's jump into a spoiler for the big spoiler for this movie real quick.
For Guardians?
For Guardians, that Papa Yondu dies at the end.
Oh, R.I.P. the boy.
I want to save that. I was gonna say what we should do is we should kind of go through.
Well, because I wanted to bring this up because he's in Infinity War.
No, I don't think he is anymore. Here, I'll check right now. If he's still listed.
He's still listed, which is it's weird because Mantis is not top billed on Infinity War, which is funny.
I don't think he is. I think it's just a mistake.
I guess so. Yeah, maybe they did that as a little red herring.
Yeah. Well, there's a bunch of people who are billed for Infinity War.
Maybe
Kraglin. Sean Gunn is billed, but it no longer says his Guardians character is Kraglin. It says he's doing the mocap for Rocket Raccoon. So I guess that, but. I bet there's a bunch of people who are billed for Infinity War that we don't know for sure if they're going to be.
That's true, yeah.
I bet it's just
supposedly the whole entire, I guess, excluding Yondu, Guardians cast is supposed to be in it.
Yeah.
So.
Is Peter Dinklage confirmed? I bet
Peter Dinklage for who?
I'm pretty sure.
we don't know for sure.
Well, I'm pretty sure he's confirmed to be in it, but no one knows who he is.
Yeah, okay. Well, there's a bunch of people who I don't even know for sure. Like Wong is listed, but we don't know if Wong's in it. We only know Doctor Strange.
But I know it's funny because I remember when
Nebula's gonna be in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fucking daughter.
I remember when what's his name got super.
I'm assuming.
Super. Before when this.
I don't know which one.
No, they've been setting that up way too much.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a whole part where she monologues.
That's true.
Drax goes over it. I think he's
rip
over
his nuts out.
Someone brought up the thing with Drax. A friend of mine brought up how people got upset because like in the first film he's like super serious and he doesn't get jokes. And
he is different in this one.
And this one he's super jokey. I don't have a problem with it.
Number one, jokey Drax works really well.
Yeah, it does. Yes. Yeah.
Also,
funny.
It's not fluid jokes as if he's been speaking with humor his whole life. Like, it's still kind of choppy.
Yeah, he's been hanging out with them a little more. Yeah.
If anything, it's development.
One of my favorite jokes in the whole film is when it's early on where they're on like the roof of the building where they're guarding the batteries and. They're like, oh, what are these? And Star-Lord's like, oh, they're like carburetor batteries. And he's like, oh, and Anarlax batteries. And he's like, that's not what I said. Yeah. And I think that's like,
he's like, that's not even close to what I said.
And then he tries correcting him later on in the film. He's like,
yeah, he says it again. He says it again.
Carburetor batteries.
Yeah.
Are you even trying at this point? Like,
yeah. And not even that, but there's like an amazing scene with him where it's just him and Mantis like sitting and watching the sunset.
That scene is sweet. I like that scene.
There's a lot of really good scenes.
He's just like completely chill, but when she touches him, she's like crying, and it's like,
it's a character. Whoa, because he has a character. It's the character.
I mean,
and he's just sitting there smiling. It's like, oh.
Do you think people just don't understand character arcs anymore?
What are you talking about? Iron Man had that huge character arc in that Iron Man.
No, I think people understand character arcs. 2008. I think people understand
character arcs. And nothing changed
9 years.
I think people understand character arcs when there's like one writer and one maybe director. This one's the same person, but like, you know.
Like, I honestly think that helps.
I hate to
that
bring
it's just one writer.
I hate to keep on talking about I hate to bash DC, but DC Justice is written by 7 people.
I gotta bring up something.
Spider-Man's written I think by like 8.
Yeah,
8 different people.
Oh, no.
So that's what I'm saying is it's like
because when they first announced the 2 writers, they announced John Francis Daly, who I'm a fan of, and then someone else, and I was like, okay, that could be good. And then I checked the other day, and it said I had like some amalgamation of writers, and I was like, oh.
Justice League I know has like 7. Which is like, that's what I'm saying is,
did you hear?
It gets to a point where like you have too many hands in the pot, like
too many cooks in the kitchen, as they say in biz.
James Gunn cares about all these characters, and he wrote them all, and there's not another person to be like, oh, let me look at that, James. Toss it over here. And
he's like, no, I got it. Thank you.
No, it's just him. So
I'm not really taking notes on this.
So he's keeping track of everything. Like when you have like
Marvel's like, excuse me, what you writing there? And he's like, I got it.
Slams the door on the
right. Yeah.
Get out of my room, Mom. What'd you just write, James? I just put Howard the Duck in and he makes a sex joke. Oh, okay. You mind if we take a peek? No, it's cool.
It's fine. Yeah.
But no, it's like with 7 people writing that. With one person writing, they're able to know where each character's at in the story and like know where the arc is. So it's like with 7 people, they're like, I'm just gonna take Thor at this point where he just left a farmhouse. But no, he's at the he just got to the farmhouse. Why would he be leaving?
He left.
He's going to a cave.
He just got to take a bath.
Yeah, I know.
With Idris Elba.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is when there's like 7 people writing, cave scenes like that just somehow like jump in.
Because isn't that what that's setting up like something for Infinity War, right?
No, it's something in Ragnarok.
Oh, okay.
We talked about Drax. I just want to go through all the characters.
Oh, wait, I wanted to say when you brought up Justice League, did you hear just what today, like, I think today, what Diane Lane said about it?
Today, May 13th. 2017.
I don't know what she said.
She's like, it's not, I'm pretty sure it was her. She's like, it's not as good as Avengers. She's like, it's not going to be good.
Wow.
And apparently everyone's like, why would you say that?
Hi, girl, Diane.
I know, right? I'm like,
she doesn't care. Do you think she cares?
Thanks for saving me my money.
No. She cheated on her husband cheated on her in Under the Tuscan Sun, and then went vice versa in the other movies. So
yeah, but
she is
just Superman's mom.
Oh, okay.
But I love it when I love it when they come out like after the fact and they're like because what's his name said after the movie after Batman vs Superman Alfred what's his name in real life Jeremy Irons he's like yeah that movie wasn't good. And then when BVS was coming out, they were interviewing Michael Shannon. And they're like, "Oh, what do you think? Who do you think would win the fight?" He's like, "I don't care. I'm not part of that anymore." He's like,
"They just brought my dead body.
They brought my dead corpse back in the film without my soul, without my permission."
Yeah. It wasn't even him. It was just a face mask.
Yeah.
So we've talked about Drax, I think, and Yondu. I guess we'll talk about Yondu a little bit later.
Yeah. A nice new addition was what's his name? Kurt Russell Sprouts.
Do you want to start with the story and kind of work our way through?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, spoilers from here on out.
Yeah.
For the entire movie.
Besides the Yondu part.
Already. What?
Movie? Okay, actually, we'll continue.
Go ahead.
No, because my point will still kind of work if we talk
so
about the opening.
basically the movie opens up.
The opening scene is awesome.
Opening scene is amazing.
Are we going to talk about the first scene with the kind of like brings up
the roof?
Oh, that no, he's talking about face scene.
I'm talking about
Uncanny Valley.
Yeah, actually, I will say
yeah, it looked good actually, but I mean, maybe
when the Missouri thing came up and it was like just him driving, I listened to Brandy. I'm like, I actually like Brandy.
Yeah.
Brandy was a song I listened to beforehand.
Yeah.
Which I liked is a lot of the songs on this soundtrack I knew beforehand, whereas the first one I knew.
Some of them were
Jackson 5. I knew Ooh Child and I knew Pina Colada, and that's about it. Whereas this one I knew a little bit more, which I think maybe it was the higher budget. But it starts out with Kurt Russell with Star-Lord's dad kind of putting his moves on her in the backseat of a Dairy Queen.
Yep.
But no, the first time
of a Dairy Queen.
when it's 80s
Dairy Queen, a big ass car.
When it's like 80s Kurt with the sunglasses, and he's driving the car.
Yeah.
When you have the sunglasses, I'm like, that looks really good.
It didn't look bad.
It looks a little smooth, but I was like, maybe that's just because it's a movie. Because I mean, Meredith Quill's a pretty good-looking lady. I will say that she's in a movie. Actually, I said to you, I'm like,
well, I know her from the In-Betweeners movie.
She's the British porn star in Transformers Last Night. Remember the one that has like long ass shot that you didn't see it. With
I wouldn't have known that because her hair is completely
no. I looked it up and I'm like, she's in the movie, and I
like how we call her the British porn star, but it's such an accurate name.
Yeah, that's what she was. Hey, I'm fine with that. Hey, Michael,
listen, man.
And then after that scene, you see like a little blue guy in the ground.
A blurby.
A what?
A blurby.
Is that what it's called?
No, I don't know what it's called.
Oh, okay.
It's just a piece of ego.
He literally
Play-Doh.
In his words, he planted his seed.
He's like, I didn't think it was gonna take to the soil.
Can I say something? I thought that was like going to be how he impregnates her. I thought when she
I thought he was like growing Star-Lord, and I was like, no.
I was like,
oh. I thought
He impregnated the ground.
I thought because it started vibing when he was like kissing her. I thought, is he gonna like start like coming in? I thought it was like
that shit would have been wild.
I thought because they like zoomed in. I'm like, what is gonna happen here? But no, it goes in and we get a little Spider-Man 2. We get a little bit of the DNA and like going through the bloodstream. And then it cuts to 34 years later, and they're on top. And
Can we talk about how this movie takes place in 2014?
Yeah. Okay. Very glad you mentioned that because it takes place in 2014, and it jumps. I think it takes place 3 months after August, so it's like Christmas time, actually. I guess August, November.
Shane Black directed.
I was about to fuck you. I was gonna say Shane Black directed this movie.
And there's like a moment where they reference something that would only have happened after Avengers. I'll get back to it. I'll remember it in a second. But yeah, it opens on the roof, and there's a.
So this takes place before Civil War.
It takes place before Avengers 2.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Yeah. Okay. Which is cool. Hey, thank you guys. For adding a little bit of that. But
I mean, I guess it's irrelevant where it takes place in the timeline.
No, because they're so
also
far
in
away
space.
Right
Yeah,
I was gonna say they're on other ends.
Time isn't necessarily relative as to where they are.
But
so essentially, after the flashback scene, we fast forward. Like I said, 34 years later, on the roof of a very stormy location right now.
It was a night in stormy dark.
Yeah. Yes, it was a night in stormy dark, and they're protecting batteries, all 5 of them, from
the
biggest, ugliest squid monster thing I have ever seen.
It was a fucking Margwa from Black Ops 3, dude.
It did look a lot like a Margwa.
Black Ops. I never. Wait, is that what story mode?
No, that's in zombies. That's in zombies.
Oh, okay.
It's some weird squid monster that chases you.
Story mode?
I don't know. It's in the future.
Fair enough.
But it opens with that, and like it's funny because the what's his name is like, oh, let's play some tunes while we're fighting the little alien, the big alien guy.
Oh yeah, Rocket brings up like, what the fuck is Groot doing? And he's like, oh, he's putting on music because Quill wanted it.
Yeah,
and then
Quill's like, I didn't say that at all.
He's like, I don't think that's very important.
It was Drax that said it because he goes, I'm gonna have to agree with him on this one. Like, music is not a priority right now.
I thought that was very funny though.
Yeah.
And it kind of puts them in perspective that they're just kind of like heroes for hire. Like, you just do whatever people... If
they took Luke Cage and Iron Fist's job.
Yeah, whatever people will pay them, they'll just fly over and do it, which I think is kind of cool.
Yeah, I like that. I figured that's what they'd be doing.
Yeah. And I also like how they really don't care what they do because they have Xandar, like, backing them. So they don't have to face consequences.
Yeah.
And
because that's where the Nova Corps is based out of.
There's a good fight full of monsters, and then Baby Groot plugs in the music, and Very well done. I will say this, I have one problem. And
I thought it went on a little too long.
Goes on a little too long. It's like the entire Blue Sky song. Right?
It is, yeah.
I love Mr. Blue Sky.
It's funny because when they played it, me and Renick loved that song. And they played it, and I was like, whoa. I looked over, I was like, this is the jam.
Yeah. And I thought it was really well shot. How it's like, and the focus on Baby Groot, because I feel like there's
a
bunch
bunch
of people.
At one point, he like hits the camera.
Yeah,
he does do that.
Weird. I was like,
I was really thinking about that too. I was like, hey, okay.
You can do it, James Gunn. I'll give you a pass.
Yeah.
I think it's that whole freeze frame where he's like, wah!
Yeah.
Vin Diesel too,
very good.
Doing the faces and doing the mocap, which I think makes it 10 times better.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's a very good opening. It's very just funny, and I like how it does. It's like, hey, you guys want action, because it like gives you the last like 3 minutes of like, hey, they're gonna fight and shoot.
Yeah.
And it's cool.
They give you an actual fight after this whole like music montage.
They don't just show it on the TV and then leave you till the very end.
Exactly.
It was a creative way. They save the batteries and the guy, tell him, and then of course. Star-Lord hits on the main girl, even though Gamora's like, hey, stop it, man, because there's like a nice little romantic tension between them, which
nothing has been established yet.
I didn't like Gamora in the first one at all, because I felt she was annoying, because her ship explodes, and Star-Lord's like, I'm gonna save her. I'm like, why would you do that, man? Like, come on, man. Like, because it just, I don't know. It didn't seem like his character was.
Yeah, it didn't seem like he had any like kind of reason to.
Yeah, I don't know, and I was kind of annoyed with her. She was cool and all, but she didn't do anything like crazy awesome. With this, she's much better. I actually enjoy this romantic subplot because it's well done. It felt a little forced in the first one, but I feel like it's better in this one.
Yeah,
way better.
And these like gold people, the Sovereign, are kind of, she's kind of hitting on Star-Lord, but, Rocket Raccoon is kind of a scumbag, and he,
the way the scene ends, I thought was honestly, like, way funny.
Drax is like, you're lucky you didn't get yourself killed. You know what they'll do. And then Rocket
just looks at him, he's like, you want to buy some batteries?
he's like, you're speaking to me. He's like, you're telling me, you want to buy some batteries? And then Drax just laughs.
Yeah, he just was dying.
The whole point
it's so loud. It's like,
half of Drax's lines are just laughing.
Yeah, they got
and they're all so good.
They got hired to protect these batteries, and then Rocket walks out with
he's like, I got all the batteries.
Which is worth like $500,000, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Just
each
want money.
battery,
Or units, but
same thing.
Yeah, I think it was funny how they call them units.
Which I thought was a nice setup, because right when they think they're home free, all you hear is Quill mention, he's like, wow, we have like a whole sovereign fleet behind us.
Yeah.
And it cuts to this really nice, I thought it was a really nice scene through the, what was it called? The Quantum Asteroid Field?
I want to mention though,
I thought it was super cool.
We've already hit 3 songs in the movie, because Brandy, Blue Sky, and Aliata Haynes had just played. And I do say this, a lot of people didn't like the first one. They're like, oh, it's a movie with a good soundtrack. And I feel like I don't feel like that, because I feel like it's all like audio, like all the characters are like listening to it, and so it makes sense that they all enjoy it. But I feel like this one takes it to like another level, because Brandy's like half of the plot of the movie. With Ego.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really nice
super
touch.
Interesting. Yeah.
And then a lot
nice
of the
touch.
songs are like there's so much like emotion. It's like silent scenes, but there's like emotion behind them. Like Star-Lord just
They're
kind of
gonna lead you up to Break the Chains.
That we'll get to that in a second, but no, when Star-Lord's sitting in Ego's ship, and he looks like a David Hasselhoff pick, and then he puts My Sweet Lord on, and just kind of like sits there, and he doesn't like, he has like no real like expression. He's just kind of sitting there listening to it. I'm like, like that's just I can.
It's accurate, yeah,
I feel more with that than like anything in Suicide Squad that like wanted me to feel.
Yeah.
Like with Diablo dying or something.
Or
I
like
felt
with
way more.
like with the bar scene.
Yeah, I felt way more emotion when
It felt more. It felt way more human too.
Yeah, all the music brings out. Like,
in other movies, I feel like as soon as he would have put his headphones in and the song would start playing, just be like immediate ugly cry. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it would just be so exaggerated to the point to try and...
Like Tobey Maguire crying in the
Star-Lord doesn't cry.
He's just like sputtering. Like,
he does.
No, he doesn't cry, I don't think. No, he does cry later on.
Yeah. We ain't
We already spoiled it.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying we ain't at that part yet. I'm not trying to jump
There's a funny
around.
space battle.
we skipped. The AL people are like, here's Gamora. Gamora's sister.
Nebula.
Nebula.
So they're taking her to Xandar for the bounty. For more money.
More money.
And so while they're flying through the space battle, Star-Lord and
all the Sovereign are playing video games.
Video games.
It's fun. I thought that was funny.
Sucks,
Yeah, it's all just drones.
Yeah, that was a good scene.
And then they're all fighting, and then out of nowhere, they're like, all right, well, we're about to die. And there's like the Vector spaceship is like, oh yeah, and it blows up like all the spaceships.
Vector is the best character in this movie.
And then
he leans out the window and he's like, hey, Gru! Vector, that's me! And then he leans over to the Sovereign fleet and he's like...
He's on top of it, like in like a Vector.
Yeah,
he's like in caves,
You better think twice before you freeze someone's head.
After watching it a second time, like he looked like Santa Claus on top.
Is he?
Yeah, like he was like
At first
like it looked because. When I first saw it, I thought it was like control sticks he was using. Mm-hmm. Looking at it again, it's like fucking rains.
At first, I didn't even realize who it was.
Yeah, and maybe it's kind of like saving for the reveal.
I guess. Yeah.
I will say you could say almost that he took out all the ships with both direction and magnitude.
Yeah, he did.
That
was a good one.
That was good.
They crash land, and I like how they don't really like ever reference like what everyone's powers are. I mean, Star-Lord is just a human, but like Drax technically is like the strongest of Hulk.
Yeah.
He's also supposed to be like indestructible.
Yeah, you just kind of infer.
Yeah, but you just kind of learn it.
Yeah, no, you get a feel from that.
Dragged through all the trees, and Gamora is also very strong because she carries like Drax while he's dragging out.
It's funny because I totally forgot that she's a daughter of Thanos because. When I first watched it, I was like, "How is this?" Is
she the adopted one, or is Nebula the adopted one?
I think they're both adopted.
No, they're both adopted.
Yeah, he picks up people from
everywhere.
I know Gamora's adopted.
I know for sure Gamora's. Yeah.
Because
she's green and he's blue.
Purple dude.
That's true. Yeah.
But no, because I remember watching, I was like, "How is this tiny Zoe Saldana holding?" Dave Bautista flying
There's
out
also
of a
a scene
spaceship.
later where she's holding like a giant
yes,
gun.
where she picks up like
the
cannon. Yeah, that was really good.
There's some good shots.
I think that's the only scene I had a bit of a problem with.
Really?
We'll get to it later.
Yeah.
All right, we're almost
pretty much they're on the planet. Everyone's arguing.
What's his name comes out and he's like,
he goes like, "I'm your dad, Peter," and
he's like, "Well, my dad."
Yeah.
And then at first, Peter was like, "Yo, I'm not so sure I trust this." And Gamora goes, he's like, "Yeah, but you're always bitching about not having a dad, and
so trust it."
So this is your dad.
You might as well like give it a chance because if not, we can just kill him.
Take a chance on me.
Yeah.
And then there's that whole thing where like the yellow people go to the scavengers.
The Ravagers, and we get
Ravagers.
See Yondu. We get to see Howard the Duck, which is the best part.
And you get to see Rocky.
When you run out of luck, you haven't you gone out of luck until you've gone duck, and then he laughs, and I'm like, heck yeah.
That was funny.
That was really good.
The second time I saw it, no one laughed at that. I'm like, do you?
Someone brought it.
I'm really glad we had a good audience.
Yeah, we had a really good
audience. Both times I
audience.
saw it, it was like a full house.
Okay, really. Oh, I mean, Full House. But
no, I mean like a lot of people like laughed.
Okay, yeah.
A lot of people knew what was going on.
I was about to say, Full House is one thing, but a good audience is definitely.
But no,
Full House is a good show, but Fuller House is.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Someone's been saying that maybe they're trying to lead into Howard the Duck becoming the new Stan Lee. You know, that he's going to start popping up.
Oh, yeah, because Stanley's going to die soon.
Yeah, he's got to.
Yeah.
He's got to.
He has to.
Yeah.
They could just have like a framed picture of him.
That's what they do for Netflix.
That's what they do
shows.
for Netflix. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why they don't include him, but anyway.
He's a busy guy. They're like every time we drive you out, you're getting closer to death, Stan. But no, also I feel like with Stan, it's like not only is he almost dead, but they've already filmed like the next 8 cameos.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
I know they for sure did the.
James Gunn's filmed like every single one until.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
He was like, "Let me do it for you."
He's like, "I already got it."
Just taking all we can.
That's a cool thing to do.
Yeah. But where were we?
Howard
the Duck.
No,
Yondu is with some robot.
They're hired.
Yondu's with some robot prostitutes.
Yeah.
This is a point about this movie that I want to bring up. They got away with a lot of things. For it being what's supposed to be a Marvel Disney movie, you know what I'm saying? Like this movie was pretty not
Rocket
only
says,
graphic.
"I hope your dad's not as big as dick as you, orphan boy." And
yeah, like they get. I remember watching it the first time, like shocked at a couple parts instead of just taking it in. So I'm just like, wow, they let that go through.
There were 2 things like I was shocked about.
There's a scene later in the movie where Yondu's literally like murdering like 1,000 people.
It's like the biggest death count in
Oh my god, yeah.
We'll get to that in a second because that's like one of my favorite parts of the whole
That was
movie.
such an amazing part. All right,
so
he's in a robot brothel. That's how Yondu's introduced.
Yeah.
They get hired by the yellow people.
And they run into Sylvester Stallone, who was Yondu's old. He picked him up when he was a slave.
Yeah.
And he like saved Yondu, but he was mad because Yondu used to deal with kids, and he's like the leader of the Ravagers, and Yondu's like, "I earned my speed." And blah blah blah, and so
flames.
Who's like,
and so Stallone's like, "Nah, dog, you can't. You don't deal with kids. You did the wrong thing." He says a great line where he's like, "I didn't know what was going on." He goes, "You didn't know me, or you didn't want to know because it made you rich." And it's like, okay, you see where Yondu's coming from.
Yeah.
Then of course, Sovereign come in. They hire Yondu to hunt down the Guardians.
Yeah.
Because they're like, you know him. And there's a funny little scene, but there's a lot of funny scenes. Honestly, it's like
we can't go through all.
I feel like if we were to just say all the funny scenes, this would just get really boring. Really
and it would ruin anyone that didn't watch.
Someone compared it to Deadpool, which is that Deadpool has a lot of good jokes and has a lot of missed jokes. But
I feel like not too many of the jokes in the movie fell flat.
No. That's what I was gonna say. Is a lot of the jokes that when the jokes hit, it makes up for the jokes that really do miss.
Yeah. I feel like the only jokes that really fall flat for me are some of the raccoon, some of the rocket stuff.
Oh, I like all the rocket stuff.
Some of the rocket stuff falls flat.
I love just thinking that that's Bradley Cooper, like a 5-time Oscar winner, makes it like 10 times funnier. But
this is what
then
you're doing
now they've split up. Mm-hmm. So now it's Nebula's chained up, Rocket and Baby Groot, who is
they're stuck preparing the ship that crashed on
the ship.
Generic planet number 3.
Yeah, Barrett. And I love how Baby Groot is just a literal baby. Like he has no like
he never knows what's going on.
I expected more of him in this movie.
No, he is in a lot.
He is in a lot, but I expected way more scenes. Like, look at how cute he is. They
didn't force it.
Marvel was probably like, push it, come on, push it. And James Gunn is like, no, I'll put him in the right amount, don't worry.
Yeah. And he is in a perfect amount.
It really is wonderful.
There's a great part in the opening scene where Gamora's like, Baby Groot, get out of here. You're a baby. You're going to get hurt. And he just waves. And she's like, hi.
Yeah.
And she jumps away. Hi. And she says hi, and it's like so genuine. And it's like, wow.
It's just pure. Yeah, like
everyone's
so good.
You definitely get the essence that's a baby.
Yeah.
But, it's also Vin Diesel.
And so... And then the other team is Drax.
They're going to see
Drax, Gamora, and Star-Lord, and they're going to visit Ego on Ego's planet.
With Mantis.
Mantis on the ship, yeah. There's a great scene with Mantis. Mantis is a very fun character because she's kind of like, she fills in the Drax's socially awkward role. Yeah. So Drax doesn't fall into the same role of, I don't understand how people talk.
Yeah.
He now is more of a, I laugh
somewhere in between.
I mess with people.
Which I think makes it even more funny.
And he pulls it off really well. Yeah. And James Gunn wrote it really well, and he's arguably one of the best characters in the movie. He's
Drax. I think he might be my favorite.
He's got the best lines. He's got by far the best lines.
Yeah.
Very funny.
There's that part where he's like, Rocket's like, I'm going to put a turd in your pillowcase. He's like, your little one? He's like, no, Drax is it. He's like, my turds are infamously huge. Or something.
I have infamously huge turds. Mm-hmm. The way he says it, too, like, you can tell he's really trying not to laugh at the very end of that sentence. I love that they left it in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So they get to Ego's planet, and there's a David Hasselhoff moment. Yeah. Because Star-Lord mentions that he used to tell people that his dad was David Hasselhoff. Because he was just touring in Germany or filming Baywatch.
Yeah, and then Kurt Russell talks to Peter on the side. And he's like, "Oh, by the way, you have powers. Just put your hands together."
No, whoa! We skipped a lot.
What are we gonna go through every minute of the movie?
Well, there really wasn't much of consequence that happened before that, aside from like Drax and Mantis talk.
Rocket's been captured.
Oh, is this after that?
Yeah, no, that's around the same time. It was around the same. The powers. It's after the powers for sure. They get to the planet, and he goes like, "I'm a planet.
Yeah,
I'm a comic book character.
I'm
God. The planet.
Yeah. You could be a planet.
I can live forever. Same thing with you, Star-Lord. You're literally immortal.
Mm-hmm. You just gotta keep the planet alive."
And he's like, "Why'd you leave my mom?" And he's like, "Hey, if I can create a body and I can create a big penis, but if I go back and forth, I die." And
he's like, "I needed to come back or something." Yeah.
He's like, if I don't return to the light inside my planet, which is his brain, pretty much, I die. And then pretty much, the Ravagers find the Guardians, but since they're split up, they only find Rocket.
Yeah, Rocket's like setting all the... He sets off like a bunch of booby traps, I guess.
And then, a very good part... Sorry, a very good part is Nebula gets out... Cripples Yondu by knocking out his fin so he can't do the arrow.
Shoots him right in the head.
Yeah, pretty much shoots him in the head.
I thought she killed him. Yeah. When I first saw him, I was like,
kill him, but
wow.
Whoa,
he's okay.
He's out of commission for a little while.
You still don't know yet.
So Yondu got his fin shot off.
Yeah, he got his fin shot off. Rocket gets captured, and the Ravagers kind of a mutiny and kill off the half that sided with Yondu.
Yeah.
And lead for Taserface, which is a funny character because he's got a dumb name.
I thought he was annoying.
Really?
Yeah.
That was the one part of the movie.
I thought it was funny.
That was the Rocky part I didn't enjoy. I just felt like it was super foolish.
There's the one payoff joke at the end where he's...
where he calls him Scrotum Head or whatever.
Yeah, he calls him Scrotum Head. That's
funny. I thought that was funny.
We'll bring it up in a second, but...
Yeah, no, he could pretty much... It's like, hey, here are the coordinates for the Guardians and I'm about to die. And then he's like, make sure you tell them that Taserface did this.
And then she starts laughing at him, yeah. That was the one joke where I was like, okay.
But no, the rest of that stuff, it's like, okay.
He's not a big actor though, and I was wondering if he was supposed to be the McConaughey role. Like I don't know, Matthew McConaughey was supposed to be in the movie.
Yeah, he was.
And I wonder who the McConaughey role was because I feel like Ego is a little
Ego,
too.
bro. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah,
I feel like Ego's a little too.
No, I don't think it would have been
Ego.
Ego.
I don't
think he would have been Ego.
So I'm wondering if maybe he was Taserface.
I guess so, maybe. Or maybe they would have had like a separate role for him, but he found
Or
out
maybe
that he
Stakar
could do it,
Would have
so
been
he-
the second Space Travel McConaughey movie.
Yeah. They would have been the same character actually. He would have left that and then
And jumped
joined the
into the
Ravagers.
wormhole.
Yeah, it would have been great.
Stop it.
Marv, tell him Marv saved you, and then she starts laughing. Why is that so?
Oh, Mars sent you.
Yeah, but and then pretty much so then it cuts back because like half the Ravagers are dead.
Yeah.
And he's like
Another very graphic scene.
you can make a
I was
ball.
Surprised they got away with it.
He's like, oh, you can make a ball with your hands.
Getting
And he makes like a super energy space ball.
and they play catch.
And they
They play catch.
with a Big Bang attack. It's lit.
Yep. They throw it around. And
Have you
they
ever played catch?
No, I don't know how to
I
do it.
haven't either.
I don't think I've ever played catch with my
Play
dad.
catch
Probably.
with your dad?
Probably.
Who won?
How probably? How would you not know?
What do you mean, who won?
I've never played catch with my dad.
Does anyone win in catch?
I don't know. We never played.
Oh.
If I played catch with him, he would.
So does
I'd catch
me.
the ball and then he'd hit me for catching it.
And you
Why did you fail, Renick?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Be like, why did you fail, Renick?
No one's allowed to be better than me.
Oh, jeez.
Classic Mark.
Yeah, that
but
was a classic Mark.
and then I think because then he shows him that he's got powers, and I'm like, okay, so that's how he's been. That's how he was able to do the thing in the first film
With the stone.
with the stone.
And also, since he's immortal, it kind of explains how he's never died.
Yeah, I mean, it was only 34, and I don't know if he's ever come into contact with anything else that's.
But
like,
no, I
made
mean, there are
die.
moments where it's like, wow, how is he like
Oh,
surviving?
also in the first film when he's in space,
Yeah.
and he takes off the.
Yeah.
Would he have been just be able to not have that?
No, it'd be-
Yeah, but I don't
die.
think. I don't think. Obviously, he didn't know.
No, but I'm saying, like, I guess in theory.
Yeah.
Would he have?
No,
Yeah,
I
no,
mean,
he
that
wouldn't
also
need
explains
it.
like Infinity Stone. And I mean, there's probably been kerfuffles have gotten into like
Oh, no,
Korath,
yeah.
where it's like, whoa, okay, I guess he just can't die. You
So
know?
then after he gets buddy with the dad and they throw a catch, what happens after that?
It cuts back to the Ravagers and Yondu.
Oh, so Yondu's locked up with Rocket.
Baby Groot has become
No,
the
before
mask.
that is when Mantis and Drax have
That was
their
the
first
talk.
talk.
We talked about that.
Yeah,
the loving,
okay,
the loving
yeah.
scene.
Okay.
The baby love.
At this point, though, the Gamora is very suspicious of Eagle's.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
this
pretty
is
sure
when
she's
she
already
starts
gotten
getting a
suspicious.
little-
Yeah,
Instantly, everyone should be suspicious because it's like shady. As
Yeah.
Around this part, I was like, oh, he's the villain.
yeah. Well, he's the villain in the comics, so like I knew. So I just,
Yeah, but
Is he-
sometimes they changed it around. I didn't know.
Okay, can you clear this up for me?
I didn't know if he was just gonna be like in it, kind of like a.
'Cause I
cameo,
know-
Is he a planet in the comics? Yes.
But he's not a celestial.
Ego the Living Planet and Star-Lord's father are two different
Yes,
characters in the
yes,
comics,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Okay.
His Star-Lord's dad's somebody from Sparta.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
I was about to say,
I
yeah.
didn't think they were the same.
I didn't mind them mixing it though, mixing it up a little bit.
Hey, it's called a surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't name your movie after a comic, then you can do whatever the heck you want, in my opinion.
Essentially.
Yeah. If you name it Civil War,
And
you
it's
gotta
not
make it
Civil War.
You gotta make it Civil
kinda
War.
fucking
If
up.
it's called the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, then you can just hey,
Also, if you call the movie Age of Ultron, it's not Age
make
of
make
Ultron.
Ego a dog. All I care.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, but no, yeah,
I think
she's suspicious. He's kind of shady. He takes her through a museum. and It's kind of like, oh, this is kind of weird.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, because he just does that.
Drax asks if he has a dick.
Yeah. Well, things just don't.
Oh, this
add
is
up.
way.
Yeah,
before
I know, but I was just, you brought up the museum scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When does the Gamora Nebula fight? happen?
Later, because
That's
we're
later.
on Yondu and Rocket.
Is this when he's trying to get
Yeah, they get
his
the
new
fin. He gets
Okay,
a fin.
yeah.
That's a very good scene.
They're probably
Oh, they didn't do the jump yet.
Mm.
No,
Yeah, no,
that's
yeah.
right,
That's
Before,
later.
yeah, they didn't.
That
do
scene is
the
really
jump.
funny where he just keeps
fucking
It's like
bringing
Monsters
them in.
Unleashed.
Keeps
It gives
bringing
me a
them all
very
thing.
Monsters Unleashed vibe, and I like that.
Mhm.
But no, Yondu gets the fin back, and it's the classic fin from like his original
The
comic.
Yeah.
Mohawk fin,
Which
which,
I felt like
I
he had
love
to-
that touch. I
He
was
had to
like,
have,
this
I
is
guess,
good.
because
Yeah.
they were killing him off anyway.
Yeah.
It's very well done to music, and it's like all added up. Baby Groot gets to kill people, which is nice because even the baby murders.
Yeah.
Rocket kills people. Great shot. It's honestly that's the first time in the movie where you're like, wow, this movie's shot like very well.
Yeah.
The one part of that scene where he kills the lights and then you just see
Yes,
the trail.
that was
thought
brilliant,
that was
yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
amazing.
And at the
What
end,
happened?
when Rocket's able to tell where they are from like the screen,
The camera
He
shoots
just looks at the camera. He's like,
and
That was cool.
the camera pulls up, and it's just like
to show a
outside.
top-down
Yeah,
view of
that
them
was
all
awesome.
coming.
It's just
Yes.
They skipped that one trailer shot.
I just love
It was
how
so
I
awesome.
love how the arrow of Doom looks because it's almost like a pen. How he's like almost like right right.
Yeah.
And I love how he catches it, like from behind him.
Always just,
very cool. It's very cool.
Everything about
everything about Yondu's cool. Shit.
Everything about that escape.
Yondu's very good.
Visually.
Yeah, I like Yondu.
Kraglin
I liked him a lot in the first one too.
Yeah, Kraglin.
He's very good.
Yeah, Kraglin joins up in this one. Now as part of like kind of the new addition to the team. I liked
him at first because when he sees him in the jail, he's like, "They killed my friends."
Yeah, and you feel bad.
Yeah. A lot of the empathy in this movie, I really like the fact that it wasn't forced.
Mm-hmm.
Like
feel
every single emotion that you feel in this movie feels like genuine that it was brought up.
Yeah,
or almost every.
I felt a rush of blood in my penis when Mantis came on screen. I felt love there.
Love you a little bit of palm, huh?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I love Palm Clementine.
And then after that, they Taserface explodes because they detach from.
They kill everybody. They kill all the Ravagers except for
literally all the Ravagers are dead.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Taserface is like, "This is the coordinates, so you'll know where they are."
Yeah.
And they detach, and they're like, "We gotta jump like 100 times."
We're going through a lot.
700.
Let's just
700 times. The body takes 15.
Let's skip to the credits. Pretty much everyone meets up. Nebula is now fought Gamora and they made up, and now they're all here. Yeah. Everyone's caught up, and they're all on Ego's planet. And
around this time is when Ego's like, "Oh, by the way."
Well, I was just gonna say that whole like scene. Ego's kind of like seducing Star-Lord to the dark side.
Yeah, and so I was like,
he made him woke.
Yeah. Well, because it's a very weird plan. I kind of almost understand it because it's like, I guess
he wants to like be everything. I guess. I was like, sure.
But there should be one other step to that.
I thought he wanted to just straight up become God. In the sense of like he's gonna rule over it.
That's kind of
no. But yeah, you're right.
But he wanted to be super God.
No, he wanted to go straight up full Zamasu and just wipe out all living existence.
He said he was disappointed with life. Which means I guess he likes.
You and I were talking about that the whole movie.
Yeah. He obviously likes himself because he's ego. I wondered since he didn't like life, he's like, well, I can do better. And then he's like, I'll just do better on every other planet that exists.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's why I assumed.
He was gonna kind of do like a restart.
I saw how life was, and he's like, we can do better.
I was so disappointed.
Yeah.
And so he's like, he has sex with pretty much every alien in the universe, hoping that he can.
That's a funny scene.
He can get a kid with.
Yeah, I was like, wow.
With his powers.
He's zooming out. There's more and more aliens.
Out of every person.
Who's the one who found all the bones?
Gamora
and Nebula.
And they pretty much found out that
he had like a bajillion children,
and the only one that worked with Star-Lord, and that is why Yondu dealt with kids. Ego kept on paying him to deliver kids.
Yes.
And
he didn't know that all these kids were getting
murdered by
as soon as Ego figured out that these kids could not harness the power of the planet, instantly dead.
Yeah, and so that's why Yondu never brought Star-Lord over, because he didn't want Star-Lord to get killed, and he was small and good for thieving.
Good for thieving.
Yeah, and the best part of the whole movie, in my opinion, because there was one part where like Marvel went like really dark, number one, and went in like good villain territory.
And like everyone in the theater was like,
it wasn't even. I was just like, wow.
It was dark. It was
kind of out of left field too.
That exact quote of
Star-Lord's like, I'm ready to join you and help over the planet, and he was like,
but why? He asked again. He was like, why did you never go back?
Yeah.
And he was like, why couldn't you keep going back? He's like, if I kept going back, I knew if I would have gone again, I
he actually like loved her.
Yeah.
Too.
He's like,
which is even worse because and then just he did.
If I would have gone a fourth time,
Star-Lord would have had a dad. He would have like grown up with like an actual
parent.
Then
he says the best line, which is, "That's why it broke my heart to put that tumor in her head."
I was
like, he doesn't even have pupils in that part.
He had the woke part, and then he comes back to normal
and kills him.
Honestly, the whole execution of that scene was amazing.
Perfect.
No words, no dialogue. Star Wars.
He's like,
Star-Lord
is like, I'll show you the
real Star Wars and just start
shooting them with lightsabers. Nah, he just pulls out his.
I love how he's like, dude, what's your problem? And he starts like just regenerating. He's like, what's your problem, dude?
He's like, you know who I am.
Who the hell do you think you are?
Yeah. He's just like a dad answer too.
Yeah. A lot of honestly, in this.
Yeah.
Now that you say that.
Which I thought was funny. And he's like, you killed my mom. And then he just like, okay then. And he just stabs him with his essence.
It was like his tentacle hand.
Yeah. I thought that killed him the first time I watched it. And then
I knew it didn't kill him, but I was like, no!
But then it didn't do anything. And it's like, okay.
And so he's able to...
I felt like he was just like connecting him more than killing him.
That's definitely what it was.
It was plugging in a USB port.
Yeah, it's pretty much able to drain his power and use him. And
he says the line, I hope you enjoy the next 1,000 years as a battery.
Yeah.
I was like,
what juxtaposition! They were defending batteries, and now he is the battery.
I am the plane.
I am the plane.
And then after that, all of them pretty much just
Rocket crashes a ship in.
Yeah.
Chaos ensues.
After they were jumping like a million times.
Yeah, that's a funny scene how it's shot where the ship crashes in and just boom.
You know what it reminded me of?
That's the second time he's crashed his ship into the enemy.
Yeah.
Watching it a second time, you know what I thought of? Pelican.
Nice meme, dude.
And
that's
then
exactly
make
what
like
it was
30.
I wasn't being mean.
I love you.
Fuck you. You haven't seen Star Wars.
I haven't.
Yeah. You think Rogue One is good?
It was okay.
So then after they explode in the thingy, what happens after that?
It's just action now. It's
Yeah,
not
that's
an
when they're
action
like,
show.
no, we have to dive in and kill him from
We
the
gotta kill
inside.
Ego.
Oh wait, and then they grab what's his name? They grab Star-Lord, and then they hop in the ship.
Yeah.
And
Oh
they-
yeah. That's when
yeah.
he's safe. Yeah.
They're going
That's
to the
my
planet.
freaking fuck.
Oh
That's
yeah,
a
that
funny
part was
scene.
funny. Yeah, he comes up and he looks like Dr. Manhattan.
He's like,
Oh yeah, he's just a nervous system at this point.
yeah.
he's just nervous system. He's just sticking his tongue out.
They
yelling
go
at
to
him.
There's a couple seconds later where he's just like walking and he's like a nervous system and he's like growing skin.
That's
and
the
I was
part
like, oh, that's cool.
in the movie where I'm like, how did they get away with this?
That was
'Cause
low-key
he's just
terrible.
It's not like in a gruesome way.
I thought it
On the
was
second-
terrifying.
On the second
It's scary,
watch,
Yeah.
on the second watch, I had because I was curious. I watched it
Go
the
ahead.
second time. He has testicles.
Is that a
Oh, yeah.
problem?
Nice.
I just didn't think.
He made a pretty good.
Isn't there a
And she's
second
like, I
time?
looked for that one.
Isn't there a second
Yeah,
time?
why are you looking at that, dude?
because I was curious. I'm like,
You'd be like, yo, did they get
I was
a...
curious, so you admit it.
yes, I do.
He's
I was
gay.
curious if they put testicles in their Marvel
That's a
movies.
good
They
point.
did.
Yeah, can you drop nuts in a Marvel movie?
Okay,
I
gay
guess?
boy.
But
At least it's
Interesting.
Dayboy. Hashtag Dayboy. What are you saying?
Hashtag gay boy.
isn't there a second part though where he regenerates in the
David
center of the
Hasselhoff.
planet? Or not the Hasselhoff part. That was good though. But in the center.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's after he shoots him a million times, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, I
Yeah.
tried to be what you wanted to be.
Yeah.
But no, in the center of the
I
planet,
don't
where
know.
like
It's funny.
he has the whole like Skeletor look, like it
Yeah.
hangs over like his muscle and skeleton reforming just for a little bit.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that's just a little bit of nightmare fuel. Like I
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
thought that
yeah.
was really scary
It
looking.
was very.
It makes him intimidating because
Yeah, exactly.
you can't kill him really
Yeah.
unless you put a bomb on his brain. But yeah, that's what they're going to. Is they're going to the core, which is his brain, to play Discord, and they go to blow it up, and there's
Did you
just
say they're playing
action.
Discord?
Yeah.
And it's the planet core.
Oh,
the planet
okay.
core. And there's an amazing. Actually, one of my favorite shots. It's like a one shot, even though it's technically not, since half the film's CG.
Yeah.
But it starts with Yondu like doing his arrow, cutting through
Oh,
the
yeah,
tentacle, and then he catches it and throws it, and then while he throws it, it goes to Rocket who's shooting, and then he lands and he cocks his gun and he goes, yeah, and then he gets hit and then like was dead for a little second.
Yeah, he gets
Yeah.
kicked.
Yeah, he gets kicked really
right in the
right.
face by the
Yeah,
tentacle.
they really don't like win the fight. Honestly, like they all like lose.
They all get their. They all get.
It was
their ass
definitely
beat.
it was a martyrdom. Like that's the best way to describe how they won.
The people show up at this point too? The yellow people?
Yeah, but
Oh yeah, the
Yes.
sovereign are showing up.
they've
at
blown
this
them
point.
up. They're kind of just there as like a ego's regenerating, so we can't really mess with them right now. And Mantis put him to sleep. So
Yeah. Oh yeah, Mantis puts her hand on it. She's like, I've never done it without like his permission, kind of. She's
Yeah.
like, oh, he needs like I need to do it when he allows me, and then she just does
she
it.
she shows up that she actually has power.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I mean, they had to find a way to make her useful.
And there's
I
that
guess.
scene where I was like literally dying laughing after
crying.
she
Yeah,
gets hit.
Well,
and like 5 seconds
yeah.
later, he's like, look out!
Yeah, that's very
Mantis,
funny.
watch out!
Yeah.
That seems great.
The way he delivers it is so flat.
Dave
Yeah.
Bautista's a really good actor. And
Yeah,
he's in
very
Blade
good.
Runner.
Funny.
He's got like good roles now, which is good for him. He
He's in the new
cried.
Blade Runner, right?
Yeah, he cried when he got the original part of Drax, which shows you like he obviously like, cares about being in these movies.
He's such a I want to meet the guy. He's such a cool guy.
We could have. He came to Bush.
That's true. Yeah, he
they're
was
like-
at Bush.
they're
Yeah,
like,
he was at
He was
Bush's
Bush like the
family.
day before you guys came, and we're
Yeah.
like, oh,
Interesting
dang,
fuck.
yeah,
Was he there when we? Oh, no, it was the last time we went.
yeah, that was last day.
But so yeah, they're all fighting and they're all doing their Guardian stuff, and then Baby Groot's going to put the bomb on the brain.
Yeah.
Because he's the only one who could fit.
Yeah,
With the
he's
trailer shot of don't push this.
He's
button.
tiny. He's good for
Yeah.
Steven.
Yeah.
And
I like how
we get Mary Poppins.
There's the part where he's running around
Right.
asking for tape, and there's this one like it's off screen.
I thought that was really funny.
But he goes and he's like, "Do you have tape?" "Yeah, duck will work." "Then why'd you say you have tape?"
yeah, no,
Yeah,
yeah,
Scott's paperwork.
Yeah.
Then what did you ask me?
That
yeah,
was funny.
yeah.
I go. He's like, did you ask Nebula? And it's like, well,
She was next to
sitting-
Yondu
yeah,
when I
she was
asked
next
him.
to Yondu, and I asked Yondu.
So you didn't ask.
Yeah.
It's like, all right.
Very funny.
So he goes to do the bomb thing,
Pretty much, there's a cool scene where the chain comes in, and it's like awesome. Like pretty much Star-Lord uses his power to his full potential, and it's pretty much become a Superman fight.
Yeah, it's a Superman fight.
That's when they do the Dragon Ball fight. Yeah,
that's the only line of dialogue I had an issue with.
What?
It's because he's like, "You shouldn't have killed my mom and broke my Walkman." I'm like, that just feels awkward.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, and there's the part earlier when he breaks the Walkman, and I was like, oh, it's broken.
Oh yeah.
Why would you do that?
I always love that
an
because
asshole move at that point.
I love when he breaks the Walkman because when you think about it, that's all he has left. Of
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Yeah.
And like it was destroyed.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Because he has no cassette. He has no Awesome Mix Volume 1.
Nope.
Because that was blown up in the first movie. Now he has no Awesome Mix Volume 2, and he has no Walkman.
Well, because he had the one that he opens at the end of the first film. That's the only thing he had left.
That's right.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying is it was destroyed in, in the fight. We'll just kind of jump ahead.
And now he's doing the Superman fight with
Superman fight.
And they turn into Pac-Man.
The fight that oh my god.
Pretty much the only people who are down on the bottom now. Everyone's kind of escaped onto the escape ship.
Everyone's escaped
except for
at this point.
Yondu.
Rocket and Star-Lord.
No, Rocket, Baby Groot, Yondu, and Star-Lord.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Baby Groot's in the core.
Yeah. Baby Groot sets the bomb, and Rocket's getting away, and he's like, "Hey, Yondu, we gotta go." And Yondu's like, we gotta give this to Quill or something. Like, you gotta tell Quill, or the bomb's gonna blow up and Quill's gonna die, or something like that. And they kind of lead you to think Quill's gonna die for a little bit, even though we know.
Oh
not
man, we
Chris
missed out.
Pratt.
We missed out on I'm Mary Poppins, yo.
Yeah, just a funny Yondu scene.
Yeah.
Just he's good in it.
Yeah,
We're just running low on time.
Yeah, you're right.
We're almost at an hour, and this is a good film, but I just wanted to.
Are we really almost at an hour?
We're at 46.
Oh, okay.
And I want to mention some other things before we get to that.
Because there are a little bit of negatives I have.
And I also want to talk about like future Marvel.
Yeah. So after that, like
they all are escaping, and
yeah.
Yondu
What's the
got
name goes with takes the little Groot.
Rocket and Groot,
And they're like, well, where's Quill?
The ship's leaving because
Yeah.
they have to get off the planet.
Yeah.
And so all they got left is a spacesuit and a rocket
I
pack.
honestly don't remember how he survives. Oh yeah, I remember.
A spacesuit and a rocket pack. And so the ship
Chris
leaves.
Oh.
And Ego blows up.
Yeah.
Yondu grabs Star-Lord right when it's blowing up, and he's got the rocket pack, and he's like, I gotta do this because it's like the one thing. And he makes the best line in the whole movie, and arguably the best line in like a Marvel movie, where it's like, he's like, he was your father, but he ain't your daddy. And he's like, ooh. And it's, you already know what's happening.
Oh, and early in the movie, he destroys his helmet so he can do the breathing thing.
Yeah. So he has to.
So Yondu takes off his breathing thing and he puts it on Quill.
And he gives him the spacesuit, and he just flies him out into the orbit so he can survive.
And there's the part where Gamora's like, no, wait, you gotta wait for Quill, and then he just like knocks her out, and he leaves.
And then
he's
just
like,
rocket shoots her.
Yeah, and he's like, I don't want to lose two people.
Yeah. It's like a really.
What an amazing.
Honestly, this movie's really sad when you think about it.
Yeah,
I was listening to Father and Son on the way here, and I'm like about to cry. I was like crying in the car, like just because I was thinking about the whole like scene.
Cameron did when we watched
the
it.
whole
the music works in the movie.
The whole funeral scene. Like she was completely
I did
in
tear up the
tears.
second time.
Pretty much, it's the worst part of the movie because it's just so sad. It's just Yondu.
But you're so happy.
Yondu's like, I'm glad I did this because like
it's
I don't
pleasing.
I don't move the arrow with my mouth. You move it with my heart.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, and he's in space and then he just dies. And Star Wars like, no, and he tries to rip his spacesuit off to kill him to save Yondu. And you're like, what?
And so I realized
then the Ravager funeral.
I brought up so pretty much now because Kurt Russell's like, oh no, well if you destroy it, then you won't have your superpowers.
Exactly.
So basically, he's just a human now.
He was going to kill himself to save Yondu.
Yeah.
Which shows you how awesome
which made the gravity of the situation so.
That's the best part. Is like all these characters like care for each other.
Pretty much, I feel it doesn't change much. Because the only thing he ever did that was unhuman like was holding the Infinity Stone.
Infinity Stone with a bare hand.
Yeah, but no, what I love about it is like it's just all of the Avengers don't really. I don't say they don't care about each other, but they'll punch each other.
They don't have that connection.
They'll punch each other if they have to.
Yeah, the Guardians definitely like.
There's a part
Scarlet
where
Witch will bang.
We're family.
Scarlet Witch will bang Vision and be in a relationship, and then she'll also throw him down to the center of the earth. She doesn't care. She'll smash and pass.
Yeah.
But it's like with this one, with this one, it's like
you feel the connection.
Yeah,
with them.
yeah. Star-Lord.
And we've only been with them for 2 movies.
Star-Lord will kill himself to save Yondu.
Yeah.
Even though, for a while he just thought Yondu was a guy who.
There's that one scene in Avengers when he's going up into space and he thinks he's about to explode, and he's like, "You want me to call Pepper?" And
that was a soulless thing though. Like I view that more as just like that was more or less.
And he was calling Pepper. He wasn't calling anyone on the team.
Exactly. Like that was more selfless.
I know, but just with another character.
It was a booty call.
No, I get what you're saying.
He's gonna say when I get out of this warp thing.
Hey, you up?
You better be giving me a lot. I got a guy.
Listen, I got 30 seconds. Make it fast.
Yeah. What are you wearing?
And then it ends with the funeral scene. It's really sad.
It's it's like one of the most heartbreaking. He plays a Zune.
Oh no, Chris Pratt gives what's his name the arrow. He's like, Rocket fixed the arrow.
Oh,
and he's
yeah.
like, oh man, we got one of these. It's a Zune. And
Everyone on Earth has one of these.
And one of my friends brought up, he's like, oh, I guess maybe they couldn't afford Apple. And I'm like, no, that's the joke, is that no one uses a Zune, I felt like.
That is the joke.
Yeah,
that is the joke.
When we watched it, the whole house started laughing.
Yeah, because it's a Zune,
Yeah.
If it was an app, if it was an iPod, it's like, oh.
I will also mention, I wonder if we're moving away from the 70s, 80s vibe, and we're now getting into modern music.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I hope not.
I feel like that's kind of an interesting push they're now leading.
True. Because I feel like if they do it again, it would be like, all right, so this is
what's going to be
their
on?
gimmick.
They're starting to drain out.
What's going to be on the Zune? Because they're going to hold 300 songs. I mean, I'm wondering. But yeah, Cat Stevens' Father and Son's on there, and it's so sad because Groot is listening to it. Mm-hmm. And he's like a baby, and he's like his dad, and he's like, and you realize Starlight's become the parent to this father to this team, and you're like, whew, it's sad.
And then
Sylvester Stallone finally realizes Yondu is a good guy.
Oh yeah, that was
forgives
nice. That was
him.
sweet
Like
at the ending.
everything, all peace has come to the universe.
Mm-hmm. All right, so and then it ends. And what's the first scene?
The first one is him trying to use the arrow.
The arrow. Just with surrender.
We got funny.
I like that song.
We got funny comic book Marvel scenes.
Yeah, which is weird because he gets it in the throat, and I'm like, how does that not kill him?
I thought he got it
but you remember he's indestructible.
I know, but I was like,
I thought
like
that the second time. Yeah.
And then the one after that is
not Adam Warlock yet.
No. After that is
it's Stan Lee and the Walk.
No, it's Sylvester Stallone.
This is Sylvester
Stallone. Then the next one's Adam Warlock.
Is the Sylvester Stallone one setting up something that we
know? He gets together the original.
I know, but is that gonna be?
Maybe it'll be in 3.
Oh,
maybe it'll be in 3.
So.
I don't know.
And then the third one is the Adam. No, the third one is the.
No, it's Adam Warlock.
Isn't it
Teenage Root one?
It kind of is plot, fun.
And then after that is Adam Warlock, which was supposed to be in this one, but I guess James Gunn,
cut him out for Mantis, which I like. It's like James Gunn cut things out that he needed to cut out.
Yeah.
You know.
Which I
didn't feel
rushed. I don't mind waiting for Adam Warlock, which is fine.
So he's going to be in the
I honestly don't want to. I don't want to see Adam Warlock. I know he's a fan character, but he's the keeper of the Infinity Gauntlet, and he's so important to the Infinity Gauntlet storyline, and he's not going to be in it. So it's
he's going to be way after Infinity War.
Yeah, which is his most important story is that. So I wonder if they're going to go for
probably should change it up.
There's a evil version of Adam Warlock called Magus, so I'm wondering if they're maybe going to do that. But I really don't. I wasn't.
That's also so far in the franchise. That
I mean, they're also setting him up to be an evil character.
Yeah.
Because Aisha looks at him like he's gonna kill them all.
And after that, it's and then there's the final joke one with Stanley. And then during the credits, Jeff Goldblum's in it, which was
I guess it's the lead-in for Ragnarok, which I like how they don't even acknowledge that Spider-Man is the next film. They're like, go see Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Isn't there a film in July, guys? go see Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Maybe it's also because it's Ragnarok, and I guess they don't. I mean, Ragnarok is the most hype ever. I think it's very funny that we all saw it, and no one cheers really. People cheer for trailers when you see it, or clap or laugh. No one clapped or laughed or oohed. For silence. But for Ragnarok, everyone was like,
I thought you were saying for Thor that there was nothing. I was like, I thought there was something.
No, there's a huge crowd reaction, but for Homecoming,
I think it was just because of Hulk though.
That's still something.
No, I get it, but I kind of hate that that's in the trailer.
Well, they're not going to show Doctor Strange, I'll tell you that.
That's very true.
I don't think so.
But we know Doctor Strange will be their surprise, and they'll leave Hulk, because I guess Hulk's a huge character, so it makes sense.
Because they're going off the... I guess they're trying to do good.
Yeah, we're good.
All right,
we're good.
What negatives do we have? Because as few as there are still some, because it's not the perfect film.
No.
It's pretty darn close.
No, it's close. My biggest thing is, which kind of took me out of it the first time, was... Yondu's death.
What is wrong?
No. Listen. I thought some shots, when it showed them what was supposed to be just drifting in space, looked kind of weird because especially when I walked through
it looks a little green screen.
There was
when they're flying off out of. I know exactly what you're talking about.
There was just some parts where I thought the CG was just a little weird.
At the end.
Yes.
I don't remember.
When there's the biggest thing I can think of is it cuts out to show them in space, and they're supposed to be just floating there, but you can clearly tell that they're just standing, holding each other. But then it cuts close.
It's a beautiful moment.
It is. It didn't, like I said, it just took me out though a little bit the first time.
Okay.
And then it cuts back into Peter's face, I think, and then it goes back again to that wide shot of them just in space. But then in that shot, it had the effect of like they were actually floating. Like Yondu's arms were drifting off, and like his cape was actually like weightless. Whereas in the shot right before it, I thought it just looked super weird that they were just straight up and down like pencils floating in space. I was like, okay. But besides that, there was just some parts where the CG I thought just looked a little off, especially like when this man Ego starts to take over the universe, and when the blue goop starts taking over Earth. I thought some of that looked a little weird. Like
it looks a little goofy. Yeah, when it first like explodes.
Yeah, I was like,
it looks
what?
It looks a little off, but
looks like the blob.
Yeah.
But
what else?
Besides that,
other than I'm not that it's perfect, but there's nothing really that comes to mind.
Makes you.
I've also only seen it once, and so I guess you guys remember a little more than I do. But other than a couple of jokes falling flat, and I guess some off CG.
There's nothing that puts you off in this movie.
Really there's nothing bad enough to where it really feels like worth mentioning. Because you're complaining about the green scene.
That's what I'm saying. And
I didn't even
it's
think
not
about that.
It's the green scene.
There are 3 villains in this film, and it still works because it's like.
Who are the? I mean,
Taserface, Aisha.
Is he a villain?
He's not a villain.
I mean,
he's a plot point, but he's
still an antagonist.
He's an antagonist, yes.
There's the one main villain. This is Ego.
You don't count Aisha?
I count Aisha. Because she's a setup.
She's kind of like a side villain. Whereas something like Spider-Man has 3 villains.
No one's got like 7, so I mean, get ready for that.
Well, we haven't seen it yet, so it could be like Toymaker could be like an Aisha type villain.
Wait, who has 7?
It's the new Spider-Man.
Holy
It's got Donald Glover, a Tom Hardy lookalike, Vulture, Shocker, Tinkerer.
Oh, I called him Toymaker.
Yeah, you did.
I am the Toymaker. Sylvester Stallone's on your
one rule.
Win. That's what they said. That's what they said in this movie to Ego and Star-Lord when they're fighting. But yeah, I think everything's great. Music is great. It's all good plot points. I think the action is good.
It wouldn't have killed me if there's a couple more songs.
I'm kind of bummed that the Guardians are finally going to join the Marvel Universe in like a year.
Yeah,
not be their own thing.
I hope they don't ruin it.
And I think that's one thing that keeps these movies.
Not Guardians ruin it, but I hope they don't ruin Guardians.
Guardians, yeah.
Oh, they're going to tarnish them. Yeah.
How's it going to work?
I think that's something that just keeps.
It's not going to work.
How's it going to work? Because we've already seen the featurette where it's RDJ, Chris Pratt, and Spider-Man, and I'm like,
what?
That's awesome, but how is that?
You had to put Chris Pratt there too because everyone loves him. Easily been.
Who could hate on?
It could have easily been like
Captain
Doctor Strange. Yeah. You know,
I still would have thought that's cool.
Yeah, but I'm saying like
they're like, War, right?
They're like, yeah. Are you kidding?
Everyone's in Infinity War.
It's the everybody movie.
Justin's in Infinity War.
Who isn't other than?
Walks in, he's like, what is this? And like,
we need you,
guys.
Who's in it other than Yondu? I guess.
Who isn't in it?
Yeah. Is anyone not in it? Captain Marvel's not in it.
No.
Freaking isn't.
Is she?
Yes, of course she is. This is how we're getting introduced to her, and supposedly she won't have her powers.
Isn't General Ross from the
Who cares?
Yep.
Thunderbolt's in it?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Supposedly Liv Tyler's going to be in it. Betty Ross.
Supposedly.
Oh, man.
She's going to be like, Hulk, what happened to you? You look totally different.
Yeah, it's so weird.
How'd you get so old? You're not Edward Norton anymore.
You're like a less credible actor. Yet still credible.
So, what are we rating this?
Wait, you guys go ahead. Oh, okay. I was going to talk about, yeah.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, with Infinity War, I mean, I will say this, if the Guardians show up in Thor, which is a possibility, I guess, or a
mention, since he's brothers with, what's his name, who met the Guardians, yeah.
I would be very on board with that, because I feel like...
I'd be fine with a mention.
I mean, they could easily... I would be on board if one of them showed up.
And this happened...
Or like a Nebula showed up, since Nebula's on her own.
That would tie in.
But if this takes place in 2014, when does...
Nebula might be just going around the galaxy having fun.
Yeah. That's true, I guess. That's a couple... I mean, this would be a couple
years
years later.
It's not like she knows where Thanos is at.
What was the reference? They referenced something to like...
you brought it up.
Stanley mentions how he's a FedEx employee.
Yeah.
From Civil War. Yeah, it's in 2014.
Wait a minute. They goofed it.
Yeah, that was the thing. That was the thing that like really upset me because I heard him say that and I'm like, like I'm screaming.
You had enough time to think about that completely during the movie?
I smashed my head against the seat in front of me. There's a lot of blood. It was the Okoye one though, so like I was just.
So no one was even there.
It was just a rioter.
Fair enough.
But,
they have armed guards there now. When I went, so the movie theater experience is only getting better. I felt very immersed. I felt immersed when security guards with like M14s were walking around.
M80s, baby.
Yeah. They called it. They had dual akimbo shotguns that sniped me across the map.
Yeah, they're doing 1887 akimbos.
1v1 on Rust.
Yeah.
But
No Fox, Final Destination. Yeah.
So,
what's your score, bud?
9.
ooh, that's high, baby.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a strong 9.
If you weren't with us, what would you give it?
A 9.
17 out of 17, baby.
Ooh, Star Wars 1717. Chris, what would you give?
I actually thought about this like sometime after I saw the movie to prepare for this. I think I maybe give it like an 8.5.
Okay. What are you gonna give?
Might change it though.
I'm gonna give it a 9 too.
92 out of 10. That's a high score, baby.
I'm gonna give it a higher score. I'm gonna give it a perfect 10.
Oh,
Really? I think. Well, I can't. I think comparing this to like a film like La La Land or like a real film is like different. I feel like when it comes to popcorn entertainment,
it's a very good point.
La La Land is a better movie, but I enjoyed this one more.
Yeah. When it comes to perfect. When it comes to perfect,
I'm allowed to like a movie.
It doesn't make sense.
I like the Transformers movies, and they're god awful.
But that would be like me saying, imagine if I said to you,
Where do we start?
Transformers 1 is a better movie, but I liked Revenge of the Fallen more. Would
Maybe
you be
I
like,
did.
Would you be like, what?
Let me tell you something.
Look at
I have seen Transformers 4
Yeah.
more times recently than I've seen Transformers 1.
And now you know very well how to date an underage girl. Romeo and Juliet lost, dude.
Oh, yeah, it is.
I was like, how do you not get that reference?
No, that was.
You've seen that movie multiple times.
She's even younger in the new one, baby.
I know. Thank you. Okay.
Ew. Get the hell out of here.
Well, it's 12-year-olds in the next one.
You can take Dora and
And
Explorer and go
Star-Lord's
away.
mom.
Yeah.
She creates a young Star-Lord with Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Crossover.
Oh no.
But no, yeah.
It's a perfect 10.
I give it a perfect 10 because it's like for a popcorn film, and especially compared to like all the other action films this year, like big budget blockbusters.
It sucks because I think this one is
Oh,
probably gonna be.
It's gonna be the best one of the year, and it's the first one of the year.
I would
Because
say
Spider-Man, I already know won't be better than this.
Well,
Like,
because Spider-Man won't
even
be
if
better.
Spider-Man's
What's it
good, it won't.
What
be
if
better.
Spider-Man comes out and is like the greatest film?
It
ever?
That would be cool, but
that'd
it
be
probably
great.
won't.
Yeah, I just think we definitely.
I feel like the only one that has the
potential
is maybe Thor.
Yeah,
Thor's not a summer film. It's November.
But for the rest of the year, I'm saying. Oh, for summer? Oh, then yeah, this one wins.
Oh, yeah.
But
Congrats, James. You've done it again.
yeah,
Yeah.
because nothing was 2014. Nothing came out.
Yeah, and Disney's obviously almost made probably will make $1 billion off this, which is crazy to think.
I hope they do.
Yeah. No. Awesome. And I think it's honestly the best action film of the year, better than Fast and Furious. It honestly is just Fast and Furious in space, but
It
better.
upset me because the other day I saw the first one with my brother and my father when it first came out.
Guardians or Fast and Furious?
Guardian. Ew, gross. And then it came, and then I brought up to my father the other day. I was like, oh, the second Guardians movie came out, kind of like, oh, maybe we can go and be father son. And then he was like, that movie looks stupid. And I was like, okay, never mind. And then he went and saw Snatch yesterday.
How was it?
He said it was stupid, but because my mom wanted to see it.
Welcome to our Amy Schumer part. Let's all talk about Snatch with Goldie Hawn, Kurt Russell's girlfriend.
Yeah.
So he said it was stupid. Anything else?
No, I was like, how was it? He's like, it was stupid. And my mom was like, I liked it because I like Goldie Hawn.
That's our special guest from the next episode, Christian's dad.
My father.
Yeah.
Depending on what if
for reviewing Snatch.
For Snatch.
We're all gonna see it now.
Oh no, I don't want to see
Amy Schumer. She says funny thing about body, and then I cry because it's disgusting. That's what she does, though. That's all of Amy Schumer's jokes. It's like, my vagina smells like a small barnyard animal, and that's an actual
it's like
joke.
Ad-libs, just plays body part.
Barnyard animal.
Smells like, tastes like.
And then
I like beer. I am girl.
And then later on, she goes, I get mad when the dude doesn't eat me out. And then someone's like, didn't you just say your vagina smells like a barnyard animal? Why would they want to stick their nose near that? And then she goes,
Is that her response?
That's her response. She growls like a dog.
I was gonna say she just revs up.
Thank you, Amy. We'd love to have you on. So yeah, it's a good film. Everybody should go see it.
Take your mother to see it. Take your brother to see it.
And then after that, go see King Arthur: Legend of the Sword, starring Charlie Hunnam and Amy Schumer. She's the sword.
Yes.
Oh my god! Every time he swings it, he goes. My vagina smells like a small barnyard animal.
It was Chris.
Anything else you guys want to say?
Renick.
Justin.
Andrew. I guess Andrew was gonna say his name. And that's my vlog.
And this one's for you, Jan.